Let's jump right into the sheer audacity of Heather Armstrong. Can you actually believe this woman? We open with Andre Richardson walking right into the Lion's Den, Heather's hotel room. Andre makes it crystal clear that he is only there to talk, firmly stating that his plans do not change. But Heather, in true villainous fashion, scoffs at his rigid, conservative nature. She is completely annoyed by his unwavering moral compass, which is hilarious considering she is literally the impaler running a global plasma ring. Heather tries to play the fate card, claiming destiny brought Danny to her simply because Danny is friends with Vanessa. It is a classic manipulator's move. And then she turns up the heat. Heather creeps uncomfortably close to Andre, whispering that she can still smell his mouthwash, rubbing her nose in his beard, and practically begging his lips to wander all over her. Wow! The sheer desperation mixed with predatory confidence is staggering. She invites him for a drink, offering no hands activities, completely convinced that Andre is terrified of his own desires. She thinks if he crosses that line, he will never be able to leave her. But Andre stands his ground, declaring his love for his wife and refusing to do anything that would hurt Danny. Heather points out that he is hiding dark secrets and makes it clear she does not handle rejection well. But Andre holds firm, and a furious Heather literally kicks him out the door. Good for you, Andre! But let's be real for a second. Rejecting a psychotic crime boss is probably going to come back to bite him. Meanwhile, over at the country club, Danny and Vanessa are having a gossip session that is dripping with irony. They are sitting around wondering what on earth Andre is hiding. Vanessa brings up Andre's wild days in Europe, casually wondering if there is some scandalous sex tape floating around out there. Danny, trying to play it cool, admits that during her modeling days, she got so drunk she barely remembers the people she hooked up with. But here is where I completely lose my mind. Danny is sitting there preaching about how Andre promised to tell her everything and how he always keeps his promises, unlike her. She is literally spiraling about the possibility of Andre having an existential crisis or an affair, all while completely burying the fact that she hooked up with Bill Hamilton in an elevator during a tornado. I love Danny, I really do, but the hypocrisy is blinding. Vanessa asks the golden question. If Andre did cheat, would Danny confess her own affair? Danny immediately shuts it down, claiming it wouldn't help anything and arrogantly stating she would instantly know if Andre's straight. Oh, Danny, you are playing a very dangerous game of glass house. During their chat, Heather calls Vanessa, demanding she bring her water. When Vanessa says she can't and asks Danny to do it, Danny shuts it down, citing plans with her hubby. A frustrated Heather groans, hangs up the phone, and violently smashes a vase in her hotel room. The impaler is officially losing her grip, and a spiraling Heather is a dangerous Heather. Speaking of Vanessa, she admits to Danny that Joey's constant paranoia about his sister is starting to seriously annoy her. Vanessa is so incredibly blind to the danger she is in. Just as they are talking, Jalen, the fabulous interior designer, arrives. Danny rushes off, and Jalen vents about a nightmare client he is dealing with, which we all know is the notoriously difficult Leslie Thomas. Jalen tells Vanessa he can't fit her casino VIP room redesign into his schedule until late September. But Vanessa, flexing that Joey Armstrong casino money, offers a massive, undeniable deposit to start the very next day. Jalen immediately agrees. Money talks in Fairmont Crest, baby. Now, let's shift gears to the absolute best part of the episode. Mona Wilson is officially my favorite legacy character on this entire canvas. She drops by the casino to check on Randy, but when he isn't there, she sits down with the ruthless casino boss himself, Joey Armstrong, for a game of stud poker. And you won't believe what happens next. Mona absolutely hustles him. Joey is baffled, wondering how this sweet church woman is so incredibly skilled at cards. Is she a former card shark? Mona calmly explains that bingo was her gateway drug, which naturally led her to master blackjack and poker. Joey, trying to save face, insists he is playing to win and definitely isn't letting her win to make amends for his past. But Mona is cleaning him out. Just as Randy walks in, Mona is casually stuffing thousands of dollars of Joey's money right into her bra. It is iconic television. She then turns to Randy and informs him that her church choir desperately needs a tenor. Randy tries to politely decline, claiming he is too busy, but Joey, likely desperate to get Mona out of his casino before she bankrupts him, insists Randy do it. They leave for choir practice, and honestly, the dynamic between Mona, Randy, and Joey is pure comedic gold. Vanessa arrives shortly after, gossiping about whether Randy is secretly dating Mona or Haley. To distract Joey, Vanessa challenges him to one last hand of cards, which ends with them climbing onto the poker table for a steamy makeout session. Over at the brownstone, we get a beautiful, grounded family moment. Nicole Dupree drops by with a housewarming gift for Tyrell's shower slippers. Martin, Smitty, and Nicole share a wonderful conversation about the pains of empty nest syndrome. Martin hilariously complains that Kat got all the good gifts when she was a kid, but the conversation turns serious when they discuss Jessica completely dumping Tyrell. Smitty gets visibly emotional, admitting how hard it is to face the reality of the kids leaving the nest. He is so used to them needing his constant care. Nicole completely validates his feelings, admitting she cried for weeks when her own children moved out. Before Nicole leaves, Martin and Smitty tell her how much she deserves to find true happiness with Dr. Kiao Rollins. It is such a supportive, heartwarming scene. After she leaves, Martin and Smitty take a much-needed nap. Martin wakes up 5 minutes later to edit a political bill, but they both look forward to a future filled with more naps once the kids are fully grown. They share a beautiful moment reflecting on all the sacrifices Smitty has made to raise their family, with Smitty telling Martin that he is a phenomenal father who sets the standard. We love a healthy, thriving soap opera couple, but the emotional heavy hitting doesn't stop. Over at Garland Memorial, Ted asks Carlton to cover a peer review meeting for him so he can finally go meet Shanice's protective brothers. Carlton is completely supportive, wishing him luck on this massive step in his relationship. Carlton even jokes that he won't be offended if Ted doesn't ask him to be the best man at his next wedding. They share some hilarious banter about Ted rushing into romance and Carlton's old high-top fade haircut from their younger days. After the laughs settle, Carlton admits that his brief dating stint with Nicole was incredibly weird for their friendship. They shake hands, officially restoring their ultimate bromance. Then we get a scene that absolutely shattered my heart into a million pieces. Andre drops by Ted's office, expressing how desperately he wants to avoid Bill Hamilton. But then Andre asks a haunting question. He asks Ted how he managed to lie and cheat on Nicole for so long. Andre says he needs to understand how someone can live with that kind of guilt. Ted, looking deeply reflective, explains that he compartmentalized his emotions but always carried the heavy burden of knowing he let Nicole down. As they walk toward the elevator, Nicole suddenly appears. Andre, clearly consumed by his own dark secrets, completely ignores her and walks away. What happens next is a masterclass in soap opera acting. Ted looks at his ex-wife and delivers an apology that is a decade overdue. He looks Nicole in the eyes and apologizes for taking a part of his body that belonged to her and giving it to another woman, Leslie, while Nicole was enduring the grueling physical and emotional pain of hormone treatments for IVF. Ted offers zero excuse. He tells her she deserves so much better. It is raw, it is devastating, and it brings tears to my eyes just thinking about it. Nicole accepts his apology, and they share a deep, healing hug. This is the kind of closure legacy characters deserve. Meanwhile, Andre returns home to a highly suspicious Danny. She immediately interrogates him, asking why he ran away from her earlier when he promised they would talk. Andre admits he is just trying to protect her. Danny scoffs, reminding him she survived far worse during her toxic marriage to Bill. But right in the middle of this intense conversation, Andre's phone buzzes. He looks down and reads a terrifying text message. TikTok. Danny immediately notices the sheer panic washing over her husband's face. What exactly does Heather have on Andre? Is it a tape? Is it proof of a crime? The cliffhanger energy here is absolutely suffocating. But hold on to your hats, because the biggest plot twist of the episode happens in the final minute. A furious, rejected Heather Armstrong goes to Uptown to drown her sorrows. And who does she run into? The newly single, slightly bruised doctor. Carlton Fitzgerald. Heather orders a drink, and Carlton flirtatiously asks how spicy she likes. Heather boldly offers him a taste of her glass. Carlton leans in, licks the rim, and smirks, saying he likes it really spicy. Oh my goodness. They order more drinks. She sips seductively from a straw, and Carlton boldly states he wants to push his luck. He invites her back to his place. She counters by inviting him to hers, and he agrees without a second thought. Can you believe it? Carlton Fitzgerald is hooking up with the Impaler. Ted's best friend is walking right into the web of the most dangerous woman in Fairmont Crest. This is going to cause an absolute earthquake of drama. When the truth comes out, will Carlton become her next victim, or will this spicy hookup turn into the most toxic power couple on daytime TV? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time for more Beyond the Gates drama.